We have the new results of the CNBC All-America survey showing American attitudes toward Israel. Also, new numbers on President Biden's approval ratings. Steve Leisman joins us now. Steve, and we already did the All-American thing, so we're going to spare you. There's no need to redo it. You can get right to the survey.
Yeah, pretty serious stuff here, Joe. The American public, in the wake of the Hamas terrorist attacks on Israel, strongly supporting Israelis over Palestinians and supporting U.S. military funding for Israel. But a significant share want both sides treated the same. And the CNBC All-America Economic Survey finding support for President Biden at or near all-time lows. Let's go through the data here. 39% saying the U.S. should favor Israelis over Palestinians in the conflict, up from 34% in the 2014 Gaza war. Just 6% say the U.S. should favor Palestinians. But 36% want the government to treat both sides the same. But that is down from 53% in 2014. A significant 19% say they're unsure, a sign the situation remains fluid in the mind of the public. By party, 29% of Democrats say the government should favor Israelis. That goes along with 27% of independents. But look at that number there. 57% of Republicans want the U.S. to favor Israel over Palestinians. 44% of Democrats want both sides treated the same, and that includes 47% of Democrats, but just a quarter of Republicans. On the issue of government funding priorities, 74% say military aid for Israel is an important priority for U.S. government funding, 72% for securing U.S.-Mexican border, and 72% for foreign humanitarian aid. Come down a little bit, 61% for military aid for Ukraine and 52% for economic military aid for Taiwan. When you look at party priorities, Republicans and independents put securing the Mexican border with the U.S. at the top, followed by military aid for Israel. Democrats put Ukraine at the top, followed by foreign humanitarian aid, Israel in the third spot there. Now, the survey of 1,000 Americans across the country finds that economic and geopolitical turmoil have cost President Biden support, in some cases significant. His overall approval rating, 37%. His disapproval, 58%. That's the highest of his presidency. On the economy, 32% approving. That is the lowest of his presidency, with 63% disapproving, 31% approving of his foreign policy handling, and 60% disapproving. Among the president's problems, just 66% of his own party approves of his handling of foreign policy, along with a slim 20% of independents and 7% of Republicans. All this leading the survey to find former President Trump would beat President Biden in a head-to-head race by 4 points, 46 to 42%, with 12% unsure. We're going to have full coverage, guys, of Americans' views on the economy from the poll, including an in-depth look at what's really troubling Americans economically, and we'll have that on Friday. Joe?
Wow. Took you a while to get to that last one, but I don't know whether that's a lead or not, but that's crazy. 4% Trump over Biden. What I did notice there, Steve, was in general, both parties are kind of in sync on Israel, Ukraine, et cetera. But there are significant differences. There are 20-point differences. It's just a little. When people say let's going to leave politics totally out of that, it's almost impossible. It's like Israel, among Republicans, definitely more comfortable giving aid to Israel than Ukraine for some reason. Definitely want border security more than Democrats. Democrats didn't even. Did you ask them? Did they? They don't care about the southern border at all, Steve? No money for that at all?
Their number is below it. But, Joe, you know, one can look at these numbers and say, wow, these are tremendous differences. They can't meet. Or one could look at these numbers and say, you know what? This could be the source of a compromise.
That's what I mean.
Let's put Mexican border securing.
In general, but there are differences. I mean, in general, everybody wants to help Ukraine and Israel and probably do the border, but there are significant, like 20-point differences.
Right.
It's just bizarre.
Joe, I want to make one comment on the Trump numbers. I want to make one comment real quickly, which is both our Republican and Democratic pollsters, the one good thing they could say for Biden is that given how lousy his approval numbers, it's quite remarkable that Trump only has a 4-point lead.
Well, yes and no. I mean,
I'm just saying, the
Think
one
about
good
what we're
thing, it
talking
was
about.
not...
Think about what we're talking about. Think about what we're talking about.
The battle of the lower negatives on this situation.
The lower
right?
negatives. And they say because Trump has his own problems, but given these numbers, you would think that Trump could have, or the Republican contender could have a much stronger lead.
I look at the other. Yeah, there's two ways of once again, there's two ways of looking at it. You got a guy where we don't know when which of the 5 trials, some are starting here, some are starting there, and he's still somehow up. It's so bad for Biden.
You could look at it that way. No doubt.
You got a guy who might be, I don't know where he's going to be. He could be incarcerated. I mean, I don't think so, but it's possible. And it's so bad for Biden that he's still up 4 points.
Right. You could look at it that way, for sure.
All right. All right, lease maniacs. They're satisfied. They got their fill. See you later.
See you, Joe.